Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube, and if you like watching that type of podcasty content in the mornings, come join us about 10:30. We fire up everything on Twitch and YouTube, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, or on YouTube at Tom and Dan Live.
It's Spark STEM Fest at the Orlando Science Center this weekend. The whole weekend, they have great guests the whole weekend.
They have famous people that come there and do science experiments. Some of the most famous scientists that are currently scientificking in the world go to the Orlando Science Center.
And also, there's the team, the Witch Doctors from BattleBots.
Jason Lattimore is going to be out there. That's a really big deal. Did you know the Witch Doctor team is local?
Oh, really?
They wear the big top hats, and they kind of have like a voodoo vibe to them. Yeah, a lot of the BattleBots are local. It almost seems like BattleBots is a lawless sport.
Max has expressed interest in becoming an engineer because he likes Mark Rober.
Oh, I would love that.
And I'm pushing that hard.
Dude,
I'm like, engineers, they're a good job.
Does he like BattleBots? I love BattleBots.
I mean, no.
Kind of old man now.
He only likes watching
Digital,
YouTube.
Yeah.
He doesn't like actually.
He could be a YouTube scientist.
He doesn't like building anything, or
in the future,
that's too hard.
In the future, there is going to be a job for people that just watch YouTube scientists.
That no one's going to pay you for that.
No, government income.
Okay.
You're getting subsidized, man. You're getting propped up by the government.
Yeah. I did tell him, I'm like, man, there's a chance that by the time you get older, they'll just be sending you the checks because AI is doing everything.
Where's my check? And you're dressed like Yeezy. You're dressed like Yeezy. They're sending you the checks, and you're yelling at your naked girlfriend again for causing a scene.
Swastika shirt.
Who would have guessed? It wasn't on my future bingo card, right? What's the future going to look like? We're all going to be dressed like we're going to the bathroom, all in sweatsuits, swastikas, and naked ladies everywhere. God almighty.
What I laugh about, and I mean, obviously nothing's funny about a swastika.
No.
But what I laugh about is that he'll do something crazy again in a year.
Yeah.
And nothing was.
No, it's like, no, you guys will do nothing.
And then people are like, "What? He did this?" And they're like, "Do you remember the swastika show? He just keeps doing it."
He's done this before. No. I'm done with this. This is why I have no outrage for this. Do you want to know why?
It's everybody's fault.
He's done the swastika shirt, you idiots.
Yeah.
He's done this before.
He just keeps doing
this. He did this like 10 years ago. It was a Confederate flag with a swastika on it. I'm out. I'm out of everything.
I think people forget that if you can make your own living now on the internet, the whole media
Shopify did say you break when you do the swastika shirt. Just understand you break the terms of service. You can't do that.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that essentially he can't be canceled because he already has enough money and enough investments.
Now you sound like him. This is what he says.
No, I know because he's right. You can't. You can't be there. Of course, no big company is going to work with him, but he doesn't need it.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Because he's the big. I understand
the internet
what you're
now.
Saying. You don't need to explain it to me, Grandpa. I get it.
So we all are outraged by the crazy things he's doing, but he's going to keep doing it, and as long as we pay attention to it.
Correct.
But
how do you not pay attention to it?
Well, that's the thing. He knows that too.
Yeah, human nature. This is
you're
basically the equation you're giving to goes for all of these things that are bothering people right now. That is the equation to it. Is don't pay attention to it. But human nature does not allow you, no free will, to not pay attention to. You have to pay attention.
And he'll keep doing crazier and crazier things because he's crazy.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to that point yet. Now he's saying he's autistic. It's wild out there, man. It's wild. Why did suddenly everybody who's autistic start to like swastikas? What is that all about? What is going on? What is happening? Stop it! Just stop!
Let's do some voicemails.
You want to do some voicemails?
Yeah.
All right, let me dig in here.
Oh, before we do that.
Yeah, please, anything. You own the show, buddy.
You mentioned that movie.
Yes. Friendship. Tim Robinson. And who's the
Paul Rudd.
And Paul Rudd. And you know what? The only thing saving my wife in going to that movie is Paul Rudd, because there's no comedian that my wife hates more than Tim Robinson. And there's no comedian that I love more than Tim. And it is a house there is no comedian. My wife likes Kanye more than Tim Robinson.
No, she doesn't.
You could. I'm gonna have to check on that. Probably not. She probably doesn't.
Why does she hate Tim Robinson?
It makes her too uncomfortable. And I love it is Tom and Dan straight talk rolled into a person, Every skit he does, I love it. I love when they go to the ones I like the most are the ones that my wife's like, well, that one was flat and it went on way too long, and I was like, that was genius. I love it. I love it. It's so fun.
Yeah, it reminds
the 55 burgers, 55 fries sketch is quite possibly the most perfect. Me and Cabin Boy would almost kiss each other on the lips for that sketch. We love it so much.
It reminds me of what's that other like avant-garde comedy show that you liked?
Tim and Eric, awesome.
Tim and Eric,
show, great job. I love all that.
I've
always loved that. Tom Goes to the Mayor is where it started. I used to love Tom Goes to the Mayor was a sketch show by Tim and Eric way before they did Tim and Eric, and it was like a cell animation weirdo show. And I tried to get you to watch it stoned one night, and you're like, "This is trash."
Well.
You don't like any of my wacko humor. You can say it. It doesn't hurt my feelings. It's not for everybody.
I'm more of a Mrs. Doubtfire. Look at him. He's wearing
That's the funniest thing you gotta say. He's burning his ninnies off. Look at him go.
He's dressed like a grandma. I'm more, I like people dressed like old grandmas.
You like Robin
White,
Williams.
black, and old grandma.
White, black grandma.
Yeah.
That's why you like John Leguizamo's your brown grandma. You got Martin Lawrence as your black grandma, and you got old. He killed himself. It was a white grandma.
Yeah.
Anyway. I think
Anyway,
there's a lot of kill yourself white grandmas.
so let's talk about.
Comedians.
I saw this the trailer for this on TikTok.
Yeah, the name of the movie, it's called Friendship with Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson. And the way that they frame the trailer is it's a horror movie. They frame it like it's a straight up thriller.
But is it a dark comedy?
I can't figure it out.
Or
yet.
is it a regular comedy and they're just messing with you with the trailer?
Here's where you should be scared, and I feel bad that we don't have Chris Crespo here. I almost feel like we should call him or have the ghost of him here, because here's where you should be scared. Isn't it an A24 movie? And you hate A24 movies.
I don't hate A24.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Ever since old Seinfeld ate the bird to save her daughter, you've never been the same.
Oh, they're just all
Julia
weird.
Louise Dreyfus ate a bird to save her daughter, and you were a changed man. It was like you did ayahuasca.
Here's the problem with A24. It's
See, I knew it. But see, he'll lie to people and be like, "I love them," and then we'll get to the end of it, and he'll be like, "Okay, I'll tell you."
It's the Shyamalan paradox, and I'll explain.
Okay.
The M. Night Shyamalan, he basically had to continue to outdo himself with the weirdo stuff. You know, it's like, oh, he's doing another one. You'll never figure out the swerve in this one.
But he was also, I think,
and it becomes all the same thing. It's like, okay,
it's like
you're
Anthony
being
Jeselnik's jokes, right? Where's the turn? Where's the swerve? Right?
Yeah, you see, you're like, oh, there it is.
I see it coming.
So
you gotta give him the double swerve.
But it does look like a interesting, like possibly really funny dark comedy. If they go real dark, I don't know.
Honestly, if the trailer was all we got, I'm fine. I laughed my ass off. I thought it was awesome. And I'm not a movie guy. I sent it to how often do I send a movie trailer to somebody and be like, well, I got to go to this?
So, just to give the synopsis of the trailer, Tim Robbins, basically, Paul Rudd comes over Tim Robbins' house. Tim Robinson. Neighbor. Oh, Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins is a different person.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Tim Robinson. Yeah. And Paul Rudd comes over to his house and then basically invites him to like a dude night out or whatever.
Like dudes being dudes.
Yeah. Like some dudes getting together, having some beers or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it looks like Tim Robinson's the type of like guy that doesn't go out to these things. Like his wife's like, oh yeah, I told the neighbor you'd go because you always just you don't do anything, you know.
Yeah, where you're like a nerd.
And then he goes over there, and then like there is a funny scene.
Like you and I are Tim Robinson in this scenario, right?
Oh yeah. I hate.
We don't do anything.
I'll go when you want me to come
over. That was
over.
a long pause there.
If you were like, hey, let's go play board games and drink,
you would not do that.
I don't want to do anything. No. But if you're like, hey, let's.
You were just talking to Tracy about something you didn't want to do a minute ago. You were just like going on and on about it. You know,
who wants to do this? I'm jealous of you, by the way. If you have fun with hanging out with some dudes playing board games. Anyway, so. He's sitting there, and then Paul Rudd and his friends start like singing. Like one guy, that scene.
Well, they have like a handsome black guy, and he starts R&B singing.
Yeah.
At night, I think of you.
Yeah. And then all the friends start singing, and then Tim Robinson is looking around like, what the hell's happening? Right?
Yeah.
Which is
And
funny.
I'm howling laughing at this point.
Which is funny, but then all of a sudden, like Paul Rudd, and this is all in the trailer, then goes to Tim Robinson's like, I'm sorry, we have to end our friendship.
Yeah, I don't think I want this friendship any longer.
And then that's when it seems like it turns dark and some dark things start happening, but it doesn't show anything. So I don't know if they're joking around that it's like
what
a
it reminded me of?
horror movie.
I think I can nail it, and I wish Crespo was here. Actually, I feel a little bad doing this without him here.
Nah, we'll talk to him.
It feels like What About Bob? Like
but
obsessive, but like they keep linking up. Like I feel like Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson are gonna like get together, and then something bad's gonna happen, but they're gonna have to come together again, and then they're gonna separate again. Like it's just gonna be mashing, and it's gonna get worse and worse. Kind of like that David Cross show where he was in England, and everything just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
But since it is an A24, it's got to go dark, right? It's got to get weird as hell.
They're allowed to not do horror, right? Or not do, well, not necessarily horror or super weird.
I think they have to.
Do they have to?
Yeah, because that's their brand now, and that's what the audience wants from them, right?
I don't
Because
know.
they're not gonna. It's like M. Night Shyamalan's not gonna. He could never do a normal movie. It had to be a weirdo, like a swerve.
Well, then I hope there's no violence in it. Then I hope that this is just purely the trope or effects of horror on an awkward relationship comedy.
Well,
because I think that'll be interesting.
How can it be horror without violence?
Well,
though?
you don't need to have any violence. Jump scares are not violent. You know, like people popping up. Like I just want that. I want that vibe. I think the violence, if you make it Art the Clown and you take it to like where now it's
He's
just
stabbing
over the,
people.
I'm just like,
you're
losing me.
He beheads Paul
If he
Rudd.
beheads Paul Rudd, I'm out.
You know, that's. I think that A24 likes that.
No, I'm out. I'm out. If you behead Paul Rudd or Tim Robinson, if Paul Rudd beheads Paul Robinson. Or, excuse me, now I'm mixing them all up.
Yeah. One or the other beheads each other.
Thank you.
But you're gonna actually
their names are too American to say together.
You're gonna go to the movie theater to see this? All right.
I'm gonna do it, and we'll report back for the show. I might even go opening night.
All right. Yeah.
Just so it can be like a mess. But I think having a lot of people in there would help this movie.
Oh yeah. So another movie that I got excited about that I saw the trailer for is
and while you're talking about this, I'll get the voicemails ready.
Yeah, The Last Breath, which they're making a movie about the documentary I talked about years ago about the super deep sea divers, like the saturation divers. They went down and then there was a problem. One of them got left. It was the documentary is insane and anybody I told them to watch and they watched it, they're like, you're right, this is crazy. And so that probably spawned I think the popularity of that documentary obviously
it was wildly popular,
caused them to make a movie about it. Although the movie,
what do you think of the casting? Woody Harrelson, right?
I like Woody Harrelson, but
I don't like that commercial he does with Matthew McConaughey though, where Matthew McConaughey's in the rain.
No,
and Woody's eating. They both look like dumb old men in that.
And everybody, there's speculation that they could be brothers, and that whole thing. Now they're trying to. But by the way, did you see? Not to jump around, but who's the comedian? Bill Burr. Did you see when Burr? When he was on
Woody, it was Bill,
Howie Mandel's podcast.
Howie Mandel's podcast, and then they brought out Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
And supposedly Billy Corgan and Bill Burr are half brothers.
The speculation is they're half brothers, and it's an internet thing.
Yeah.
But I guess there's no
I don't believe it.
Bill Burr didn't no one's corroborated that this is true in any way or could be true. And then Bill Burr got real mad about it, and it was super awkward. You didn't see this clip?
I did see the clip, but I don't believe anything Howie does anymore because the whole Dana White thing is fake.
Yeah.
So after that, I'm like, you blew your credibility with me, Howie. Even if that is real, you blew your credibility with me.
You're right. Bill Burr is a good actor.
He's an amazing actor.
So he may have been acting like he was mad, and then, but it came off awkward.
He's done that to other people too. Like other comedians have been in green rooms where Bill Burr has lit them up. Made them upset, and then years later, he's like, I'm just messing around.
Yeah. He could be one of those dudes that is super dry.
He's a great actor. Who would have known that Bill Burr and Jerry Jones are two of the greatest actors we have? Bill Burr in Star Wars, he was good.
I think he can whatever he says, it comes
Comfortable.
off as real.
Yeah, he's comfortable
and
with
that's all you
himself.
need. Yeah. If you just say, and he's probably actually like saying it for real, but also under the guise that it's exaggerated, or this is just part of the bit or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's really saying it. That's why it's coming off real.
Also, the way he talks, like the way he presents his jokes is just a version of him being like kind of grumpy or mad at things, which I think is him. So all he has to do is dial it up to like a 7, and he'll say it, and it's completely authentic because it's really him.
Yeah.
It's just he's so good at it. I think he can say anything he wants to, mad or angry.
Yes. Yeah.
Some people can do that. Like some people can. Like Don Rickles could literally say anything and start riffing and make you think he hated it. But at the end of the day, I think it's just a skill of hating.
Yes,
he doesn't really hate it. He just knows how to riff on something and tear it apart.
Yeah, that's himself exaggerated, which is the easiest character to play.
Yeah.
It's really how you feel, exaggerated, and then you always can hide behind.
We do some of that.
Yeah. I think a lot of talk people do that.
Yeah.
We're just exaggerated versions.
And then
of
we say we're
themselves.
comedians, and we're not. We're personalities, which is completely different.
Yeah.
Don't let people tell you that.
Don't
Don't let them lie to you. Say, you're not a comedian. You're just a personality.
Yeah.
Let's just dip into some voicemails. If you want to leave us one, super easy to do. 1-844-TOMNDAN. That's our vanity number you can call. Or we have a free app that you can leave a digital message by just holding down this little record button, and it will sound something like this right here.
Yo, BDM Neil here. So I'm listening to the most recent Friday Free show. You guys talking about the Amish. And my family, half my family, my dad's side's from Kansas, and we went and ate at an Amish restaurant. Crazy, right? Like there was like literally in the middle of the country of Kansas. It was a straight up restaurant on the side of the road, and like my family was all my dad, my aunts, and all that stuff. They were like, yeah, we got to go eat over here. This is an Amish restaurant. They have a farm, and everything is literally from that farm, and you can just eat it all. It's pretty sweet. So yeah, we had some freaking dank food at this Amish restaurant, but yeah, love
I
it.
didn't know there were restaurants where you could go and get sort of the same thing as the dinner, but it'd be easier to kind of pull in and go to like the diner.
And does the restaurant have electricity and have like refrigerators?
What I'm guessing is that he probably did a version that's like, hey, we're gonna give you all the treats and the flavors of it, but we're just normal. We're sucking the life out of this and the authenticity out of it.
Or are there Amish that are kind of like Blade?
Digital Amish.
Like Blade Amish, where like, you know, because there's different spectrums of all religion. There's the
like Amish Plus.
The super,
Super
strict, dedicated Hasidic Jews, that will not do anything on Sunday, and then it obviously
and then
goes
you got
to
your Lamborghini. I'll do drink anything I want.
And so
digital Jews.
So there's I'm guessing there's Amish that live by old school rules that they cannot break.
But we've already determined that some of them pick and choose, right? Like if you have to walk across the line and use the little phone hub to call the Uber, you are like, God knows you're doing that.
So I'm sure there's some Amish that like will live almost traditional, but they have little comforts, and then they have like that. We run this restaurant, and we're just exposing. There's always a way to justify.
Yeah,
everything.
we're about 45% in.
Because without refrigeration and stuff, it'd be hard to run a restaurant with no electricity.
You're waiting a long time.
Or it'd be dark as hell inside.
You gotta salt that meat hanging in the barn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know what you would do.
Yeah, and maybe you just partner with non-Amish, and they do all that, and then
They're called Nomish.
You just bring I don't know.
What's the difference between Amish and Mennonite?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about these religions.
I think they're sort of similar. They're buggy people.
Yeah.
And they wear the very like the suspenders and the dungarees and the shirt. I like the shirt. It's like almost like a Henley. It's like a 4-button Henley. That's like a working man's shirt. I like a good Amish shirt.
I will say that they. It seems like they have. Obviously it's just a small population of them, but without them, being exposed to the internet and everybody has a smartphone and just. Swiping videos and all the social media and stuff.
Boring. Be a boring life.
But no, like a better life though. I think it honestly better
what are you gonna
for
do
them.
with no swipe? Oh God, you go crazy sitting there in a barn alone.
God,
what are you just gonna listen to the wind blow? Oh,
Yeah. No, I think that's good. I gotta hate the screens and all the stuff
know you
with my sons. It's the number one thing that I'm like, this is bad for them. It's bad for the brains. And I know I'm the parent. I should just be like, no,
but
can't
you're
do
in
it.
your screen. Can't get out.
I'm addicted to it too. So good.
It is so good.
So many things.
Speaking of children, let's try this one. This one is about baby names. Uh-oh. See what we get here.
Hey, Tom and Dan. So I was listening to your thing where you're talking about funny baby names, and or just names, and I had a story and then like a question. So my sister-in-law was pregnant with her first son, and their last name is Kaufman.
Did we talk? Did we do this one?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh.
Damn it. Sorry.
And so they were going through, and it was pretty far along, and people were like, oh, did you pick him? Like, yeah, we found out it's a boy. We're going to name him Jack. And, like, the family's there, and I was like, look, do whatever you want, but you can't name a boy Jack off men. And,
Hey, everybody, we got a Chinese menu. We got a Chinese menu poster from Spencer's Gifts 92.
And, like, so they changed the name, and, but, like, everybody still to this day is like, oh, yeah, we had to change his name because I was a dick. And
that still works. That still works for the joke, sort of, with a little,
how was I being a dick? I was just saving a kid from going to high school with his name being Jack.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we get you.
I have a hard time believing this because they would obviously put that together too, right?
And you tried to hero it. Are we refuting this man's story?
Well, I'm just
It hurts listeners' feelings when you do that. You know that, right?
I like
But
that,
do most listeners know that as soon as they call, we're 75% skeptical? Right off the top.
Well, in these kind of stories, because I'm just like, well, the parents and anybody around them didn't put that together. Like,
well, Jack would be short for something, right? Or is Jack his real name?
Well, that's it's not even that far-fetched of a thing to put together. It's very easy, you just...
also, when you call me and you're like, so their last name was Mehoff or whatever it is, I'm like, get out of here. I've heard it all, man.
Yeah.
I've heard it all.
Yeah, I just and then for them to be mad at you for saying like, "Hey, this is."
These are all these are also old street jokes that maybe you were even told that maybe you even think this happened, and it never did. You know what I mean? Like this is like if you're from Florida, I almost give you like a hallucination pass for some of your memories because like so many people I know in Florida think that things happened and they just didn't happen. Let's try.
Well, let's take a break.
Okay, sure.
And then when we come back, we got a guest coming in. They just came back from their bachelor party, so I want to find out when 2025. What are you doing for your bachelor party?
I know what I would do
if you're our age.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like this person's our age, not.
I think that's
20.
unfair because for me it doesn't change. For me, let's hoist them up.
All right. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. All right, so. I was all prepared to talk to Paul Williams.
About his bachelor
party that he had last night because he's getting married this weekend.
Yeah.
And so he told me, but by the way, I did tell him, I was like, you don't have to come in the day after your bachelor party. He's like, no, I'm going to do it.
But as on brand for most things, Tom and Dad, we like to plan for it, then do the work for it, and then cancel it at the last second.
And so, but Dom is here, one of the Sandford two.
It's basically just you never know what you're gonna get
because Paul backed out because he just had his bachelor party, which I told him. Although Paul doesn't drink, which now I'm mad because he's not even hungover, so he should be able to make it.
He's got that gambler hangover, so he's like, "Oh, I can't believe I spent that much money."
Right, that's true. That's how much? What were you guys gambling? What was the game?
Did you go to Hard Rock in Tampa?
Yeah, we were in Tampa, and dude, we did it all. Like we were slotting, we were rouletting, we were crapping, we were doing it all. I don't think we didn't do any card games. That was it.
Interesting that you didn't do any. I like the card games sometimes.
Most of us the whole time were doing roulette. That's what we were doing.
Roulette's fun.
But it sucks there because it's $5 chips. I don't know why they do it. And at like 1 o'clock at night, everybody starts scurrying off like cockroaches because they raised it to $10.
Oh, so you can't get the $1 chips?
You can't get $1 chips. No $2
to put in the middle.
$5 chips, every single chip.
Really?
Oh yeah.
It's like out of control. It makes it no fun.
Oh man, they're trying to get the real guys.
They're
in
just
there,
like,
right?
hey, can we just hold you by your ankles and check all the money out of your pocket?
Well, I mean,
we're not even trying to hide it anymore.
Yeah.
Well, $1, $100 roulette, you're gonna lose. There's no way to win.
if you're just messing around.
But if you want to play for a long time,
Not even
$5
just a
chip.
long time. Like, how about longer than 5 minutes?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At $5 chips roulette,
Think
you're
about it.
gonna
How
lose
many
it.
chips do you really want to put down on a single-handed roulette? You
Any
know what I mean?
slots? Any over there?
So some of the other guys were like going nuts on the slots.
I mean, I enjoy them, but I know they're dumb. Like I know
We walked up to one and dude hit a bonus and won $550 in like 4 spins.
Yeah, and that's when you just stop.
Yeah.
And then you just go, well, I'm done for the night.
That's
but
when
nobody ever does
That's
that.
when a smart person would stop. Yeah.
I've never done that. I've won thousands on slot machines with that stupid one pull thing, and that is how you win.
Yeah,
but you have to tell yourself, hey, I got this $100. I'm going to play it. Oh, I won 1,000. I'm going back to my room. I'm going back to bed. I'm giving it to my wife. I've never done that.
Right.
Not
No.
even one time.
I always put the chips in my pocket and hold out. You know, whenever I win, I take
Yeah.
the big chips, put them in my pocket. But you pull them out.
You do.
Because you lose all your money and you need it.
Yeah.
Because we don't understand statistics and don't understand the odds, and then we just go there. They are taking advantage of humans because our brains
And
can't.
it's almost like they put these lights and sounds in there. They keep us in there for some reason or attract us or yeah. And I love that. I love the sound of slot machines.
I'll
Like
stay there.
I feel myself when I download a slot game on my phone. If it's they do real slots now, not that you can win money, but they do the real slot machine on your phone,
Sure.
and then you can just play for fun. The sounds from it, if they're authentic, will give me goosebumps.
You could play
because
for
it feels real.
you can
Yeah,
play
yeah,
for
I'm
real
out.
money.
I think you might have a problem. sir.
Well, I don't gamble. That's like it's his thing.
Were you
not
like a
my
huff
thing.
and puff on there? Is that what you're doing?
I play a little bit on there,
Love it.
pretend like, and then I delete it and then I get shamed.
But that's
Yeah,
true
same,
gambling.
same.
I'm into trying to figure out an edge
Yeah.
and positive EV.
Yes.
I'm not just hitting a slot machine.
I like the
know you're gonna lose.
randomness of the lightning strike for some reason, you know. But
I
yeah.
did actually come here to tell you guys something big today.
Oh, okay. I love
Well,
big.
before we talk about the actual business,
Whenever we get to supervillains, we could talk about it.
hey.
I want to talk about Paul Williams doing
Sure.
his bachelor party.
It was a great time.
Yeah, I imagine it
an
was.
absolute great time.
I'm glad.
But
and he was the only one who didn't drink. All the rest of us did.
okay, and how
Really? I
many-
thought you weren't drinking either.
I had a nice glass of wine with dinner,
With-
and
Yeah,
that's
I had a beer or two when we were.
It's fun.
Here's the thing: the alcohol doesn't control me, Daniel. I control the alcohol.
Okay, I like that. I like that. That's unlike me, where the alcohol is in complete control at all times.
No, it's not.
Yeah, like even right now, alcohol's straight in control. I don't even know where I'm at right now.
I think that's maybe the marijuana. But
Yeah.
listen, as far as the alcohol goes, yeah, I can have one or two and be fine. You know?
and that's what alcoholic is.
I mean, like
it's
every
fine.
3 months.
I'm joking around with you.
I can't do that.
Back
in
to
a row, that would be bad. I haven't done that in a
So
while.
back to bachelor party,
Back
and
to
then
bachelor
Dom
party.
has something big he wants to reveal.
Absolutely.
So is a bachelor party is a young man's game?
Yes,
And
absolutely.
so just because I was surprised that Paul was having a bachelor party,
But he is the
because-
type of guy to have one because he's
He's-
fun.
So,
So,
like either one of your wives, they letting you guys go to strip clubs?
oh yeah,
Really?
yeah. Andrea don't care.
What about you?
I'll do whatever I want.
you know, at this time,
I'll literally do whatever.
I'll
do whatever I want.
Daniel can do whatever he wants.
Huh.
I
don't
I'd have to-
disrespect it. I don't take advantage of it, but I got it if I need it.
I would have to like present it in a way that is like this is some sort of show bit
You've
that I
been
need
with
to
me
do.
before
Yeah,
to
but
do a show bit.
yeah, but like 20 years ago.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
we
Like
haven't
That's
been
what we're
in-
saying. Young man's game.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
been in
Before
like,
there's consequences,
Yeah.
yes, you will.
Yeah.
You will go to striperies and you'll do whatever you're gonna do. But
turning
when there's
40
consequences,
yeah.
I wouldn't, out of respect for my wife, I wouldn't.
and that's like a young man's. He threw me the young man's bachelor party because we were both younger men.
Sure.
We went to Lollipops on Daytona Beach
Yeah,
until the lights came on, and it was disgusting. And we rolled hard.
I got Daniel some lap dances.
Some lap dancing, like every lap dance in the place. When
Yeah,
the
yeah.
lights came on, there was the most disgusting looking naked man grinding on top of me. It's supposed to be a woman. It was the most disgusting wrinkle
No,
face
don't look at
construction
it.
worker Daytona Beach whore
No.
grinding all over me, and I was into it, man. I was there for it.
Shout out to all my Volusia County peeps.
Yeah, Volusia County goes way harder than like Orlando, Orange. You don't even know.
So none of that. You just go to Hard Rock. You
Yeah,
play at the
yeah,
casino.
yeah. So we're talking about a bunch of dudes who are all married unnecessary. Like,
Yeah, you got to do the low key fun, chill out.
Sure, I wouldn't have gone if it was anything nuts because I don't care about it.
Yeah, you've always said that. Like, you're very happily married.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love my
So,
wife. She's great.
So this is my problem with it. Is that a bachelor party? Because the bachelor party has to incorporate
Bachelor also for me feels
stranger women that are scantily clad in some way.
Bachelor
your
to
original
me-
question, yes, it's a young man's game.
Yeah.
Because all of us have consequences at this point. When you're a young man, it is like that. Like you're saying, it's your last hurrah before you go out. But all of us have already had our last hurrahs, and I'm not going to be a party to any of that.
Yeah.
Well, then you don't tell your wife. Obviously,
No.
you
When
keep
you're-
it a secret.
When you're tagging along for other people's last hurrahs, you never mention the hurrah.
Before that we started here, I told these guys that I would not bring my wife here, and I broke this thing. I would not bring my wife here, and this is why. Because you guys would have her thinking, oh, you're just not going to tell me now. Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
But I mean, how can your relationship get that out of control when two guys just mention strip club? That sounds insane.
Because I imagine, like, so say you invited me, which I'm very disappointed
Don't
you didn't
invite
invite
him.
me.
Invite
Paul
me. If
didn't
you want
say,
the
like,
party,
hey,
you invite me.
and then if I'm there,
I'm gonna shake it like a salt shaker.
and then everybody's like, hey, we're just gonna eat at Ruby Tuesdays and play some roulette. I'm like, well, why the hell did I even come?
I'm gonna bring some. I got the expansion deck for Cards Against Humanity, and we're gonna play at Ruby Tuesdays. Just cut my feet off and throw me in a lake.
I'm like, we're in Tampa. They got the best strip clubs in Florida. Like, we're going
You're going to Burn Steakhouse. You get a big steak dinner. Go fart it up at Mons Venus. That's what you do.
And they're full nude there. We don't have that.
You like,
And
grind on me more. Push the farts out of me.
And they do lap dances. Paul's rich too, so
Yeah.
I
I bet you he can fart. You get a stripper grinding on him and farting it all up.
And everybody, a bunch of dudes in their 40s.
Yeah,
Everybody's got money.
high-fiving and farting.
That's
and
the problem.
throwing money everywhere.
The problem with bachelor parties when you're in your 20s, everybody's poor, so you can't throw
There's
around
no
money.
I was begging for a lap dance the first time I went to. It was House of Babes.
Yeah, I've done the math with Paul. He's good with the amount of bars. This guy's a millionaire. We need to have a millionaire bachelor party.
Yeah, man.
If you think about it, for the money that we all threw at the tables last night, we probably could have done something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mons Venus.
But no. You don't want to do that because
Hulk
mistakes can be
Hogan's
made.
there.
That's a dangerous game to play too.
Hey,
Because you always have that one friend that goes a little too far with what you're doing at the strip club.
Next thing you
And
know,
he's like, I'm making out with her, dude. And you're like, we got to get out of here.
yeah.
There's Hulk Hogan. There's Cowman. Everybody's there. Everybody's
Cowman, I
there.
forgot about Cowman.
There's all the radio guys. They're
You know
all
what?
there.
Tom and I decided this year that we're too much an Orlando radio podcast. We want to be Tampa radio podcast.
Sure.
Yeah,
And
they know how to
they're
party.
trashier than us.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
Their women are ugly. Tampa. Oh my God. It's disgusting.
Yeah, but they'll grind it.
Yeah, but they will grind it off. Grinding on that wood. Hashtag Beyonce.
It was cigarette burns.
Yeah, I like it like that.
This is heavy.
Grind the scabs off of it, man.
I blame you because you said you wouldn't bring your wife here, so we're going extra hard.
You guys are
And when you said
explaining
that,
why.
when
It's
you
fine.
said that, it was like you gave us the old hot foot, where you put a match in the back of our. Did anybody ever do that? The old hot foot, where you put a match into somebody's sandal and then you light the match and it burns all the way down to their heel.
Absolutely.
That's what you gave us when you came in here.
Yeah.
You said that, Tom. And Tom, I saw it in his eyes. He's like, "I'm going full strip club." I knew it.
It's okay. We don't have a radio at our house. It's fine.
Yeah, I'd say, hey, look, we know nobody's listening.
So,
And I'll be like, oh, this one's airing in 2 weeks. It'll be fine.
Yeah, just tell her it's tape.
you just went and played some roulette.
We went to the Colombian restaurant there in Ybor. It was
Okay, how's that? Oh, how's Ybor City?
It was, we were there for like an hour and a half to eat, and then we bounced back to the casino and went and lost more money.
Is it still like street party crazy? Because I remember.
I mean, it was a Tuesday, so it wasn't really street party-ish.
Yeah,
I didn't see any chickens either, which was weird.
Now, when I had my bachelor party, and you threw it, if I remember correctly, we had a split off. Did you have a split off at the bachelor party? Where we
did,
had
but I
some
won't-
guys that were so nerdy. And I'm not saying you will be a part of this, but look, I don't.
I wasn't. I
besmirch-
was part of the cool guys. I was the last.
You were
one
there. Yeah, you were there. But I don't besmirch anybody for doing that. Look, you got to do whatever you got to do for your relationship, what makes you comfortable and is good for your family.
But we will make fun of you.
But we will make fun of it. So we go to where did we go? We started at Wing House. So we started horny and we're going to end horny. So we
Well, that's what a bachelor party is.
yeah, we started at
That's
Wing
not
House.
the whole point.
And you'll remember this. The older and I'm using air quotes so they won't get mad at me, the older people that I knew that came,
Yeah.
they ate wings with me, and they're like, okay, buddy, we're all out of here. And then they all left and like,
I
and
just
then
came for the wings, and
Yeah.
this is all the I go.
And I will say that kills the party. If you're gonna do that, just go to the strip club for just 5 minutes and then leave.
Yeah.
So you can carry the energy over to the strip club. Don't make the people leave at the. I hate it. Because you already ended the night.
And then I'm like, you think you're better than me?
Yeah. So just give it
you don't
5
wanna
minutes.
go.
Even be awkward. Go in there. I don't want to do this. Pay your cover. Walk in.
And
then walk right out.
Breaking the circle of trust. It's like when there's some sort of informant in the biker gang, you make him smoke meth to prove he's not a cop.
I don't do that because anybody will smoke meth. This is amateur hour. I make them kill somebody, or normally I make them sexually assault another one of our biker members in a very harsh way.
Because smoking meth isn't that, but you're doing it to yourself. You have to do something to someone else.
I'm like, take Spike in the back.
Yeah.
Get at it.
So, what do you want to announce? Yeah, what do we got going on here?
Oh, we have lots going on. We have lots going on.
So it's Valentine's Day weekend.
So yeah, Valentine's Day weekend. We got Paul's wedding this weekend, which is going to be nuts.
I'll be there.
We're taking the party afterwards to the West End, so hopefully you guys will join us. And then Saturday this week we have Mardi Gras. Sandford Mardi Gras.
Oh yeah.
So we have a parade.
Nice.
Folks are encouraged to come and join and walk in the parade with us. And
where's the parade route?
so the parade route's on Sandford Avenue. It starts around where Throwbacks is over there, down that far, and it marches all the way over to us at Weston, and then it breaks up, and then from there we have a brass band playing, and then
dope.
after that we've got some cover bands playing, a bunch of food trucks and beers.
That's amazing.
So
always something going on there.
Always.
Do in Mardi Gras, Sanford Mardi Gras past, is there, you know what? Do they fly?
This is a full horny conversation in there.
This is a little more geared toward your family.
Okay.
It's not more like
I mean, there's got to be one.
I wanted a booze fest with some.
You pull it all the way up above your head and then
drop them out.
Hold on, let me text my wife real quick and tell her.
Dump them out.
Yeah, any chance we can do a dump them out? Live dump them out.
Yeah, it's more of a family thing. And,
But there's got to be one
old grandma.
Sanford hag that dumps them out.
This used to be all tea.
Yeah, there's got to be some Volusia hag that'll come by on our boat and dump that one out. Don't just dump one out.
Yeah, like one.
Wow.
That's called a salute.
Yeah, you pull one.
Yeah, you know what I like? I like it when an old
Flapjack.
river hag pulls out the armhole of her tank top. Pulling out you old river hags, pull one out the armhole of your tank top, and that's called a salute.
You know, I'm surprised that's not the softball team's name, the River Hags.
I mean, maybe we should talk to Paul about a fake hat. You know,
Sanford
River
Hags.
Hags. Pretty good. Not bad.
That's
Not
pretty
bad.
funny.
That's a good. Right? Make it look like a softball team.
We would sell more of those than they would sell.
I mean, I'll
Like
have a
your,
logo to you by the end of the day. You know, we could do
Yeah.
this. We could do this. So, what's going on in Supervillains Land? How are you guys
I
doing?
wanted to tell you some big news.
Please.
Gentlemen.
Scart looks good. I saw him
Dude,
playing.
Scart is doing great.
He's
man.
been playing all over the place. It was like he fell off the face of the earth for like a minute, and then when he came back, I see him he's like, I'm playing out this river, and I'm playing at this little seafood restaurant, and I'm playing over here. So if you like that style of music or whatever,
So let me tell you the big news first.
Yeah, please.
All right, the big news, gentlemen. I'm quitting Scratchers.
Oh, so you scratch off tickets?
I'm off the Scratchers.
What?
So,
You were
yeah,
addicted to them.
I am completely off of them. So yes, I've gone.
That's a huge deal.
a month and 12 days. I'm in recovery right now from the Scratchers.
Wow.
Well, let's talk about it. There had to have been a breaking point. Did you hit rock bottom?
I mean, no, not necessarily. I just started doing the math for once.
Oh, you just started?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I told you years ago.
Yeah, we walked
I
through this
screamed
like
at you
months,
years ago. You didn't
about a
believe
year
me?
ago.
Yeah, I didn't believe you because sometimes you win and you're like, this is radical. But still, when you add in the wins and you still do the math, and you just realize you're never gonna win.
Yeah, every
yeah,
morning,
yeah.
every morning there's the
Yeah.
new version of you in front of me, and it's a young guy. It's younger than all of us, and he
Yeah.
buys $70 worth of scratchers
No.
almost every morning.
I thought
bad.
no one ever realized it. I thought you
I
died thinking
I
you were
didn't
going to win.
think people.
No.
This
Yeah.
is going to be shocking to you. I didn't. I'm with Tom. I didn't think people got off scratchers.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible because you die. Old men. That's the number one person I see buying scratchers. Are old men.
Sure.
I'm proud of you.
Thank
That's
you.
a big deal.
Hey, it is. I do this. I just stopped doing things for some reason.
How much money have you saved now? Probably a lot.
Dude,
right?
I got to imagine a good bit.
Yeah, but you know what you have
You're
to
laughing at it, so that's
Again,
a lot.
I'm glad my wife isn't here to hear this.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yes,
that's fine. This is a safe space.
I have absolutely saved myself some money for
See,
sure.
the problem is, like, you need to take the money you would have bought scratchers with and put it in some sort of jug or like
or a
container
savings account, whichever.
you know,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
that way you could see it. Because
Sure.
like,
How about to get an Acorns account?
yeah,
I save every day at the pump.
because if you
I
don't,
hate all of that crap.
if you don't put it aside, then it just gets absorbed into your normal finances, and
after-
you don't tell.
Yeah, but you do though. At the end of the week, you're like, oh, look at this. I got like way more money than I thought I would have, had. This
I got
week.
one of those apps that's like, if you don't drink, then you save this amount a day, and then
Sure.
you check it in like a week, and you get to the end of the week, and you're like $75. Like, holy crap!
Well,
that's
yeah,
what-
you have your accounting app, your accounting software app. Like that will tell you, hey, you spent like $500 less dollars.
Write
this
down
week.
accounting software. We need to buy that.
But then you're just
We
like,
need to get
well,
some of that.
then you're like, well, I want to waste it somehow. Then you
Yeah.
should waste it in another way.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so
Yeah,
like,
if I'm not, if
I would rather waste it on like a vacation or like something tangible. than-
yeah.
I
But
usually
what about
take-
the win? What about the
That
winning?
one- that one, yeah.
What about
Yeah.
the joy of hitting that
Yeah,
scratcher?
so here's what it is.
500.
What's the most you ever got?
5 G's.
Five. What about that
Yeah,
feeling?
that's
Do you-
enough to keep me in.
Let's
That's
think-
enough to keep me in.
Dom,
It was for a while, but
Yeah.
then you're like, wait, that's never gonna happen again.
Dom,
you know?
let's put ourselves back in the place where you won that 5 Gs. You're sitting in your truck. You're
No,
scratching.
I was in Publix.
Oh, you're in public. You
was-
didn't even leave.
I was
That's
shopping.
how addicted he was. He's so addicted, he's literally putting it up his nose as he's driving away, right?
Yeah, I was scratching.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Dude, it's wild because the old man, he scratches them in the 7-Eleven too. The guy I see in the morning.
Sure.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
guy,
They can't even
he buys
get
them
to the
and
truck.
he goes right to the side, like where all the flavored
Yeah,
vapes
there's a
are. And he
little
just
thing.
scratches
Yeah.
them right there.
Well, I was holding a cart and I was scratching with one hand, with one finger,
Okay, all
and
right.
pushing a cart because I was grocery shopping. So you get one on the way in, and then you get one on the way out.
It's like getting a beer at Petty's Meats when you walk
All
around
right,
Petty's
all
and you
right.
get the little beer.
So I'm looking at it and I go, oh man, I think I won some money here, and I was like, oh, this is $2,500. And then I realized that what my winnings was 2 times. So
double up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
that
it sounds
double-
like in your ears too. I feel like because it's like a
yeah.
a paper it's a paper slot machine, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. And then
Yeah.
you hear it's like double up.
And then you feel like a total deuce because you're like, man, I gotta tell somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
tell the deli man.
I'm like,
Hey.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like in the middle of realizing that it was like a 5G thing when I was on the phone with Brianna. I was like, I just won a S ton of money here. So
I have to.
What about that? You'll never get that again.
Yeah.
That feeling of
Yeah, yeah.
winning 5,000 in Publix and then calling your wife and then you.
Well, that's the way
you
we
have to
do
mail it
If
in.
you ever
Do
end
they
up at
pay
the
you?
strip club with us ever, the way out of it is we just give you $5,000 and you call your wife. It's like I got 5G, and you're out of it because
Yeah,
it'll
no,
fix it all.
I don't think so.
Did you have to mail that in for 5Gs or did
Oh
they
no, you
give
go
it to
you go into the little lottery office with all the rest of the degenerates and you sit
Yeah.
there.
Oh, what's that
And
like?
it's
right
oh,
next-
it's fun.
It's right next to the Haitian embassy downtown.
It is.
It is. Like, seriously, when you go down there. No, it is.
Yo, it's a scene. It's a scene in
Yeah,
there.
it's rough. There's like pain management, Haitian embassy, and then the Florida Lotto.
It is an absolute scene in there. There are some characters in there.
Yeah.
And like, cause you have to. It takes about 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. Like you have to wait.
You know why?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
the employees are so bad. What they do, they're so bad.
Either
Because they're
way,
like, I want to be standing in my own
Yeah,
line.
and that's the worst job ever, right? Like you're giving away the winnings to horrible people.
Yeah.
All day.
You
Could
like,
you
of
imagine
course,
those-
you like inevitably talk to somebody because you're sitting there for an hour, So
Yeah.
you're just like talking to some of these people, and that's a good way to get yourself to stop too.
I was
Go
at-
hang out in there for 5 minutes.
It's the other one that was
Ah.
bad is I had to go to the courthouse, the one that's
Ah.
near the
Courthouse
one that's
is
near
bad.
Mellow Mushroom Winter Park,
Yeah, yeah.
the little courthouse there, and I went in there with my wife, and she's just like, I'll keep you company while you're waiting to renew something or pay it something, and I was waiting there, and this dude walks by me in the biggest joint I've ever seen, like like it was bigger than a normal rolling paper, falls out huge like a real cigarette, you know. And then I look at it and he looks at it. He reaches down and he picks it up and he looks at me and he goes, "You didn't see nothing." It was awesome. Like it was like
At the courthouse.
Yeah, at the courthouse. Like after you went through the metal detector, and I'm like, well, okay.
I mean,
No
these
metal
days,
in that joint.
you can possess it. You can have it behind your ear.
Yeah, I
What
was
are they
like,
gonna
all
do?
right.
you
And
know?
that's
Like,
before, that was pre-medical marijuana. You
Oh,
know? I'm like,
pre,
yeah.
there you
Oh
go.
yeah, pre.
Yeah.
So Dom, before we leave,
Supervillains though, while we're at it though,
okay.
real
Yes.
quick, we just signed up with a new agency, so they got us back on the road like crazy. So,
okay.
For the remainder of the year, we've
Congrats.
got East Coast tour, we've got Texas and Colorado tour,
Nice.
and we're going all the way back to California and West Coast this year. So,
Oh, awesome.
They got me back to work there.
That's
but
killer,
of course,
man.
I'll be doing double duties because I'll still be doing the Sandford thing. you know.
Congrats.
You can
Thank
just find all the tour dates at
Yeah,
supervillains.com.
that's supervillains.com, or check us out on Facebook or Instagram. As
A lot of our
Supervillains
chat
as well.
room love you, and I know they will be. Will
I
certainly
can't
be
read it
checking
from
that
here.
out.
I'm getting old. I can't read it anymore.
No, a lot of people, they were commenting
So-
on like Scart's solo stuff, and they're glad you
Yeah,
guys are back
Scar's
on the
doing
road.
great, man. I don't know if you've seen him lately. He looks great.
He does look great.
Yeah.
We've had a couple months off. While we're kind of getting things switched over and all that stuff. So it's actually been kind of nice just to have a little bit of
I'm sure.
free time. And
We
not
talked
have to
about. I
travel.
remember last time we talked to him, he was going through that meat thing, right? Or like the. Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
he's-
is he okay now with that?
I have no
He looks
idea.
great, so it must be like
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
he did, he figured it out.
we
'cause-
haven't really been talking about his meat
Yeah.
his meat affliction.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
weird.
But, yeah, it was a weird thing, but
Yeah.
like when you look at him, you're like, hey, obviously
Yeah.
he got it dialed in because he's got his dreads back too.
Yeah,
crazy.
they're long. Brianna was like, "What happened to Scar's hair? When did it get that long?"
Yeah, how
I'm
did he
like,
do that?
I have no
Like
idea.
he looks super healthy. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
well, I mean,
Sure.
maybe I need a meat thing because I don't look healthy.
I got a meat thing.
So Sanford Mardi Gras on Saturday.
Right, and then next month in March we have a couple of huge ones. We have our Shamrock Shakedown, which is going to be we've got 3 bands playing. We got wrestling that day. We're not going to do the patty pull this year. We're going to do wrestling instead.
Okay.
And then of course a couple weeks later we have our biggest event of the year, which would be Pints and Paws.
Yes.
So,
I love the shirt, the new one with that dog on the front. That is a silly looking dog.
yeah.
I love Pints and Paws, man. That's
Yeah.
gonna be fun.
Awesome
Absolutely.
event, pet friendly, obviously all to benefit.
Yeah, last year we raised $130,000 for
Awesome.
local pet rescues.
Yeah, man.
And they really depend on it. And Paul's been awesome with
Well, he's connecting
donating
us
that.
with like Judy and other people that,
Yeah.
that do a lot of this pet stuff. And I just gotta get Judy to reply to my text messages, but I'll give. She's awesome. I love
Yeah.
those people, man. They're great folks.
Absolutely.
All right, we will see you on Monday.